The story is about a boy named Lu Changxing. He transmigrated to another world. In this world, the god of one nation fights with the god of another nation, God versus God, which is very dangerous, and this battle is a life and death match. The spiritual chi is revived, the mythological arena descends, the gods of each country arrive, Sakura awakens Amaterasu Amikami, the Eagle Federation summons Odin, and Sheila summons Zeus. Only the Chinese are missing, leaving them in danger. He has traveled across the world, and he knows all of history. He summoned the great Pangu. Gods are forbidden in China. So let's see how it goes. At the beginning of the story, the protagonist suddenly opens his eyes and finds himself in another place. He is surprised at where he is now, and there are many people at this place, and the protagonist's name is Lu Changxing, and he is a transmigrator. And then his childhood friend comes to him, and his name is Zhou Hao, and he says, "Changxing, stop daydreaming. Get in line quickly, today is the once-in-a-decade Divine Awakening Day." And Lu Changxing gets a little surprised after listening to Zhou Hao, and he remembers what is this Divine Awakening Day. 100 years ago, the mythological arena descended upon the continent. Gods from various nations were resurrected. Once a human turns 16, they can use the Divine Awakening Stone to summon a god. Those who successfully summon a god gain divine power and represent their country in battles in the mythological arena. If you summon the wrong name, there's only one outcome: death. Chinese civilization has suffered a fracture, with much of its historical and mythological records buried in dust. Countless Chinese sages sacrificed their flesh and blood for a century of peace, but the next generation struggled to remember their names. Then we see a man, and it is the city lord, and the city lord says, the Divine Awakening ceremony officially begins. And everyone gets excited. Then Lu Changxing thinks, if the summoning fails, you turn to dust. This world is truly dangerous. And then a girl enters this place. It's Lu Yanran, ranked first in the national exams. Lu Yanran, daughter of the top swordsman Lu Rufeng. And Zhou Hao looks at Lu Yanran and says, with her background, she's bound to summon a powerful god. So envious. I'm so envious. She's from a good family, has excellent skills, and is a true wealthy beauty. If someone could win her over, they'd skip 10 years of hard work. It's a shame that this morning Huaxia was on the brink of losing in the mythological arena. I really hope Lu Yanran can awaken a powerful god and fight for our country. I don't want to lose to Sakura Nation. Then it is Lu Yanran's turn, and she goes in front and looks at the god stone. And the city lord says to Lu Yanran, I hope you awaken a high-tier god to save Huaxia. And when Lu Yanran touches the god's stone, a bright light starts coming out of the god's stone, seeing which the city lord becomes happy, and he says, there's a phenomenon occurring. It must be a high-tier god. And then some images of God appear in front of them, seeing which Lu Changxing gets surprised, and he thinks, these images of gods, they are exactly the same as the gods from my previous life. And Lu Yanran says, I, Lu Yanran, humbly request the presence of the god of war, Bai Qi. And Lu Changxing says, Bai Qi? What does he have to do with the Battle of Red Cliffs? Wasn't he part of the Battle of Changping? A warlord from the Qing dynasty and a battle from the late Eastern Han period, they're hundreds of years apart. They have nothing to do with each other. And Zhou Hao says, are you crazy? How dare you question the top scorer of the national exams? Lu Yanran comes from a scholar swordsman family, dude you. And the audience says, what an ignorant student from a small place. You. Fit to judge the top scorer, the daughter of a sword immortal? What's this nonsense about the Battle of Changping? Did you make up history? According to historical records, the most famous battle is the Battle of Red Cliffs, and Lu Changxing listens to those people and thinks, how pathetic. It seems that modern civilization has completely collapsed. People have already forgotten their history. And the city lord says, compatibility rate, 40%. Lu Yanran has awakened an S-rank god, the god of war, Bai Qi. As expected from the daughter of a Swaro immortal, she activated an S-rank god. The top scorer, indeed. Who was it that just Sai Bai Qi was from the Battle of Changping? Oh my clown! She has a bright future ahead of her. But unfortunately it will still take time for her to grow, and the old man says, in the upcoming mythological battles, we'll have to wait for Sword Immortal Lily to return from the frontier. But Lu Yanran's attention is somewhere else, and she is looking at the image of God, seeing which the city lord wonders what she wants to do. Could she be attempting to summon another unknown god? That's an emperor. Human gods are rare and weak. Emperor gods are even more unheard of. Such courage. It must be Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty. Only Emperor Taizong, who conquered the world at a young age, could be venerated as a legendary emperor throughout history. Unfortunately, the records of emperors in history are few and far between. And Lu Changxing thinks, no, that's wrong. In the Needle and Tang periods, emperor garments were primarily yellow. In no dynasty did emperors ever wear black. Could it be? But then someone shouts and says, hold on. This is the first time an emperor god has appeared in the mythological arena in 100 years. According to historical records, there have been countless emperors in Chinese millennia-long history. To choose recklessly would be. And he is head of Tianxian Academy, one of the 4 great academies of Huaxia, Li Xian. And the city lord says, yes, Yanran, give up. You are the future of Huaxia, and you cannot afford to fail. And Lu Yanran starts looking at God's image and she says, but if I walk away, this top-tier god will vanish from this world. Then the academy head says, even so, we cannot risk our future top-tier fighting force. Notify Tianxian Academy. We will use 10 years of the nation's fortune to anchor the emperor's soul. Let's see if one of the students coming for the divine awakening can recognize it. And a man says, I follow the master's orders. Then the man goes away. And the academy head says, students, a top-tier god has appeared in Huaxia, possibly Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty. As you all know, a top-tier god is critical to Huaxia's survival at this moment. And then in the online broadcast it is shown, host Aphrodite reporting, first round of the Guli War, Sakura Nation vs Huaxia, victory to Sakura Nation. Second round of the Godly War, Sakura Nation wins again. And seeing this the academy head says, Huaxia has already lost 2 rounds of the Godly War. 1 more loss, and we'll have to cede territory and make reparations. Without a top-tier god, relying solely on the sword immortal leaves us with little hope. I understand that Huaxia's cultural fracture makes identifying the gods based on current data extremely risky. Perhaps. We will die dash. Today. Who else dares to step forward and try? Then the students start talking and say, this unknown emperor god might not be Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty. If I summon the wrong name, I will die. And another student says, in Huaxia, we do not fear death. The Kyoto Academy will motilang to pet him, and a girl says, the magic Chino is also willing to try. And all the students get ready to try. But then Lu Changxing raises his hand and says, I know the origin of this god, and it's different from the dean's judgment. Lu Changxing of Jinling Academy, I am willing to try. But Zhou Hao gets scared when Lu Changxing raises his hand. And looking at Lu Changxing, the students talk and say, who is this guy? Jinling Academy ranked pretty low in this year's exams. Isn't he the clown who questioned Lu Yanran earlier? Is he trying to show off, risking his life in the process? And Lu Changxing goes ahead, and Zhou Hao says, Changxing, are you kidding me? You know summoning the wrong name will lead to death, right? But Lu Changxing keeps going ahead and the academy head looking at Lu Changxing thinks, this kid seems confident. Does he really know the history of this emperor? But after reviewing all the records, the only emperor that fits the characteristics are Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty. And the academy head says, I believe in this student. Since you're so confident, I'll allow you to try. We must never stand in the way of a Huaxia citizen's pure heart. And the audience from another nation says, look, an unknown god has appeared in Huaxia. They're actually fighting to the death over it. Truly, Huaxia people are fearless in their ignorance. How can a culturally impoverished country like theirs compare to the great Sakura nation? And many people start making fun of Lu Changxing. But Lu Changxing does not pay attention to their words. Then he puts his hand on the god's stone, due to which red color energy starts coming out of the god's stone, seeing which all the students and audience get surprised. And those people feel that some unknown high-level god has been activated. And Lu Yanran also gets very surprised to see this red color energy. Then people of other nations also get surprised. And we see that the people of India and they say, I've heard only our nation and Greece have ever produced gods with orange auras. And the people of Korea get very angry and they say, what's with this red aura? Does Huaxia even deserve it? Dio the Divine Awakening Stone malfunction? And the academy head says this is the aura of an SSS tier god. The current godly aura levels are white, green, blue, purple, and orange. However, few know that above orange lies red. Currently, the only god in the world with a red aura resides in the Vatican, and he is known as God. And the city lord says, does Huaxia really have an SSS tier god in its history? And Lu Changxing thinks SSS tier is the limit for gods, But it's not his limit. Even if other gods are SSS tier, they cannot compare to him. And Lu Yan'an thinks an SSS tier god? Can he be successful? Summoned? Lu Changxing. His exam scores weren't ideal. And the academy head says, but aside from the Emperor God, he's also active with another unknown SSS tier god. What kind of god is this? He wields a giant axe, standing tall and mighty. His muscles are bulging, his face rugged, and his strength is unmatched. Could he be the ancient god Tian? And Lu Changxing thinks Xingtian was headless, using his chest as eyes, his belly as a mouth, wielding an axe and shield in battle. But this god has both a head and limbs. How could he be Xingtian? The myths of Huaxia have faded away for far too long. Too long. Perhaps this is the very reason I came to this world. Then Lu Changxing humbly requests God and says, I humbly request the presence of the first god of creation. Pangu. The audience is completely shocked when they see that the god of creation has been invoked by a simple human being. They cannot believe it and say, truly, one cannot judge a person by their appearance. I never thought he could awaken an SSS level god. How does he know the identity of this creator god? And Lu Changxing, looking at the god of creation, thinks, Pangu opened the heavens and the earth, his body transforming into all things. He is absolutely the most supreme god in existence. And then the system panel opens in front of Lu Changxing, and looking at the system panel, Lu Changxing thinks it has finally arrived. Meanwhile, a child gets very shocked when he sees that the leader of all the gods is in front of him. He gets surprised. And the leader of all the gods is standing at the top, and he cannot believe it, and he starts running quickly and says, it seems we must sound the fate bell and announce it to the world. Then the little boy rings the fate bell, whose sound goes very far, and a man hears this sound, and he is Sword Immortal Lu Qing. And a lady says, you did not mishear, it was indeed 9 rings. And the academy head says, 9 rings of the fate bell, 9 is the ultimate number, never before seen. He has indeed activated a supreme god. Heaven bless Huaxia, we now have a supreme god too. And Lu Yan'an thinks, an SSS level god? The strongest god in Huaxia's history, only triggered the fate bell 3 times. Then we see a middle-aged man, and he is Emperor Tokugawa. And he says, damn it, a mere boy from Huaxia has awakened a supreme god. Lord Matsumoto, are you confident in dealing with him? And Matsumoto Genza says, a new god-blessed individual, even though he has awakened a supreme god, with his current compatibility it would be difficult to summon it in the arena. With my current strength, I can easily tear him apart, and his god too. And Emperor Tokugawa says, this Huaxia prodigy, we must kill him before he grows any stronger. Spread the word, initiate the named god war. We cannot allow him to continue living. Then we see Lu Changxing, and he thinks, an SSS level god is the pinnacle of most gods. But it is certainly not the limit of Pangu. Pangu opened the heavens, his body transformed into all things, his soul became a sage, his battle strength is supreme. Unfortunately, with my current compatibility. And then the announcement comes, Sakura Nation consumes 10 years of national fortune, initiating a named god war against Huaxia's Lu Changxing. All contestants prepare to take the stage for battle in 10 minutes. Lu Changxing is called to battle, and Lu Changxing thinks the locked space has been transported to a different dimension. And the city lord says, Lu Changxing has become a projection, and the academy head says, there's no turning back now. Has he already been transported to the inner realm? And Lu Yan'an says, such insidious tactics. And the Sakura Nation audience says, ha ha ha, hey, are angry. They're panicking. Just a moment ago they were worried. And Emperor Tokugawa thinks, the named god war serves 2 purposes. Not only does it guarantee victory in the mythical arena, but it also removes Huaxia's young god-blessed genius before he can grow. After all, Huaxia's Sword Immortal is no easy foe. As for them consumed national fortune, and Sword Immortal says, a notification of a national fortune war? What is going on? And the secretary says, Sakura Nation consumed 10 years of national fortune to prematurely initiate the mythical arena. They intend to eliminate Huaxia's prodigy early. The named god war can only target god-blessed individuals with an SSS level, or higher. Once initiated, the locked individual must take the stage, no matter how high he may fly in the future. Right now, he is nothing more than a fledgling bird. In this way, the opponent can strategically arrange their forces. This is the first time the named god war has appeared in the mythical arena. Sakura Nation is using it to target Huaxia's newly awakened god-blessed individual. And Sword Immortal says, if our Huaxia genius falls in this battle, on this day next year, I will trample Xijing. A few minutes later. Then Lu Changxing enters the fighting battle and Matsumoto Genzu is in front of him and Matsumoto Genzu says, they've initiated a named god war over this wet behind the ears child. They're making a mountain out of a molehill. A wet behind the ears child. You better watch out. Even if Huaxia's Sword Immortal were here, I could still easily tear him apart. And Lu Changxing thinks Pangu should be impossible to summon, the imperial god I just fixed with fortune. Should rep here in the mythical arena. And Matsumoto Genzu says, what's the matter? Don't you even have the courage to face me? So Lu Changxing says, your Yamada no Orochi head would make a great stew. And Matsumoto Genzu says, sharp-tongued. In a moment, I will personally sever your head and feed it to my god. And the announcer says, both contestants are now in place. The mythical arena battle begins. Welcome everyone to the mythical arena battle. This battle will be broadcast globally. The participating nations are Huaxia and Sakura Nation. This is the third match of the arena battle, and currently, Sakura Nation has won 2 matches. If they win one more, Huaxia will be forced to surrender half its population and half its national fortune to Sakura Nation. Hello, I am the host of the Mythical Arena Aphrodite. Mythical Arena rules. Rule 1. In each battle, 5 gods will be randomly refreshed. Contestants may summon one of them. Rule 2. Once a god has been summoned, it cannot appear again in subsequent battles. Rule 3. The match follows a best-of-5 format. Only the victor survives, while the loser's god perishes. And Lu Changxing thinks, victory means life, defeat means death. This is perfect. Hundreds of god-blessed individuals have already died at the hands of Orochi. Today, I will settle both personal and national scores. And Lu Changxing says to Matsumoto Genzu, today, we will decide not only victory and defeat, but also life and death. And the announcer says, have both contestants understood the rules? If confirmed, the battle can begin now. Both contestants have confirmed. Below is the personal information of the 2 fighters. Matsumoto Genzu, S-level god-blessed individual, awakened god, SS level, Yamada no Orochi. Matsumoto Genzu, S-level god-blessed individual. Next, the god battle begins, Sakura Nation vs Huaxia Nation, 3rd match, summon your god. Matsumoto Genzu steps into the godstone first. And Emperor Tokugawa says, as expected, it's the Yamada god. Lord Matsumoto truly lives up to be an S-level god-blessed individual. His compatibility is nearly perfect. Inside the godstone. And Matsumoto Genzu has summoned the Yamada no Orochi. And Lu Changxing also gets ready to summon a god and there are many images in front of him which he is seeing. And the Academy head says the Yamada god has already torn apart 2 of your gods. Tremble, wet behind the ears boy. You should not be forgotten, nor should you be buried in the dust of history. Is he choosing that unknown god king? This is way too risky. Changxing, the god king most likely to be Samonio is Tang Taizong Li Shimin, as recorded in history. And Lu Yinan says, according to the secret archives, it could also be Emperor Zhu Yuanong from the Ming dynasty. Then Lu Changxing says, the unworthy descendants of later generations now pay respects to the founder of Huaxia Yingjing. And as soon as Lu Changxing says this, a bright light starts coming from the sky and Lu Changxing has successfully applied to another SS-level god, seeing which the city lord becomes very happy. But the Academy head says, it's unfortunate he's a human god. The strength of human gods is generally weaker than the same-rank demon gods. The human god that Changxing just summoned may struggle to be a match for the 8-headed serpent at the same level. And the announcer says both sides have successfully summoned their gods. The match begins, and Matsumoto Genzu says, as expected, you didn't have the power to summon a creation god. But what surprises me even more is that you summoned a frail human god. My human god, just a mortal. And Lu Changxing says, unworthy descendants of future generations. Lu Changxing pays respects to his ancestors. Future generations may have forgotten you, but that is their shame. However, from today onward, your achievements as the first emperor will forever be remembered by yours descendants. You unified the written language, standardized vehicles and roads, and united the people of 7 states. You planted the seed of unification in the hearts of the people of our great nation for 100 generations and 1,000 years. My Xia people will forever remember that the land of our motherland cannot be divided. You ensured that the vast rivers and mountains were never again invaded by foreign tribes, and you built the miraculous Great Wall to protect the land and its people. You unify thought in the world, burning heretical texts and foolish books. And Lu Changxing's capability increases to 60%. And seeing this, everyone gets very shocked. And Lu Yanan says, is what Lu Changxing said really the history of Huaxia? There's an emperor with such great achievements in history? And Matsumoto Genza says, so what if you are an emperor? What can a human god even do? Then Yingjing asks, who is that man? So Lu Changxing tells a foreigner who oppresses Huaxia. And Yingjing gets very angry and he says, how dare a mere foreigner oppress Huaxia? Those who offend my Huaxia must die. But then some people say, did you hear that? A mere human god dares to speak such words? Have you forgotten the scene of the two gods before being torn to pieces? As expected, the gods of Huaxia are best at comforting themselves. And Matsumoto Genza says, as expected of someone who was once an emperor, truly brimming with authority. And the Yamada no Orochi says, a mere human god, I didn't expect you'd be arrogant enough to challenge a true god. Pitiful and laughable. I thought this would be a thrilling battle, but it turns out you're just a human god. So dull. You. With your small body, you're not even qualified to fill the gaps in my teeth. Life. And I my only regret is never having slain a god. This sword declares Qin, and the audience is very shocked, and when people of many nations see that Yingjing is really ready to fight, they are shocked and they feel bad for Yingjing. And the Yamada no Orochi says, it doesn't matter. Even the smallest mosquito is still meat. Come on, wield your sword to your heart's content. This strike will make you realize the gap between demon gods and human gods. A mere mortal dares to blaspheme the gods. And the Yamada no Orochi attacks Yingjing. And Emperor Tokugawa says, it's over. This emperor from Huaxia, like the two gods before him, will be easily torn apart. Then some audience starts leaving from here and they say, there's nothing they can do. Huaxia summoned a human god. Even with a higher rank, the inherent weakness cannot compare to demon gods. No suspense at all. Does anyone really believe a human god could defeat a true god? But then a strong lightning goes up, tearing the sky. And we see that Yingjing attacks Yamada no Orochi and cuts off one of his heads, seeing which the people of Sakura Nation and Emperor Tokugawa are very shocked. And Lu Yanan becomes very happy and she says he cut off the head of the 8-headed serpent with one swing of his sword. And Yamada no Orochi says, you have no divine power within you, so how can you unleash a force that rivals even strong gods? How did you do it? Then Yingjing says, this is the chi refining technique of ancient Qin. It was forged by the countless chi cultivators of Huaxia, a technique that defies the heavens. And the academy head is very happy and he says, our ancestors in Huaxia could create such an earth-shattering technique? And Yamada no Orochi says, chi refining technique? What an amusing little toy. Too bad. You only served one of my many heads. My body can regenerate severed limbs. I am immortal. How could a mere human god like you hope to stop? You mortals ought to kneel before me. You dare to harm me? You shall be trapped in hell and will never incarnate. And Yingjing says, if I lose, I shall be forever in debt to the people of Qin. So what if I die? However, I've never lost in my whole life. And the Yamada no Orochi moves forward to attack. But Yingjing attacks him many times and starts cutting his neck many times. And now Yingjing's power has reduced a bit. But the Yamada no Orochi starts regenerating his Yamada no Orochi again. And he says to Yingjing, give it up, you foolish human. And some audience says, it mends its broken limbs and never dies. Is this really a god that humans can defeat? Can Huaxia really defeat such a vicious god? And Yingjing becomes a little serious and he thinks, it never dies. No one can do that, even the most ancient divine beings. And Yingjing again goes ahead to fight and he thinks, I can feel you getting weaker. How many more times can you repair yourself? But Nog says that you should give up. And attacks him, due to which Yingjing goes away and falls on the ground and he gets a little injured. And seeing him injured, some people start crying and say, forefather of Huaxia. His blood is spilled all over the arena. And the academy head says, let's prepare for defeat. If he doesn't die, he can continue to rule Huaxia and make it the world's best nation. We cannot let him continue his sacrifice. But Yingjing tries to stand up again and he thinks, there's too many, it feels like it'll never end. But every time, I feel like I'm almost there. However, I feel it, the aura from Great Qin, and then a golden aura starts flowing around Yingjing and a spiritual dragon appears in front of him. Then Yingjing says, all the land of this whole world, I own it. Then we see that divine spirits start coming out of the audience, seeing which everyone gets very surprised, and all those divine spirits start going towards the board battle arena. And they all have gathered to help Ingjing, and Ingjing tells them all to go and kill the Yamata no Orochi. And all those divine spirits start fighting with the Yamata no Orochi and injure the Yamata no Orochi very badly. And seeing this, Matsumoto Genzu gets very surprised, and he says, "How can a mere human summon so many divine spirits? No, Yamata no Orochi cannot lose." "Right, there's still me." "Foolish thing, so what if you are naturally talented? Is there time for your growth? Did you forget that if the divine guardian dies, it'll be counted as a fail too?" And then Matsumoto Genzu comes behind Lu Changxing and is about to attack him from behind, and seeing this, the academy head and Lu Yanran tell Lu Changxing to look behind him. But Lu Changxing notices at the right time and dodges Matsumoto Genzu's attack. And then Lu Changxing catches Matsumoto Genzu's hand and throws him on the ground. And the audience is shocked to see this, and they say, "What? Lu Quangsheng is so strong. Didn't he just become a divine guardian? And he has the lowest resonance with the creator. How strong can Pangu be?" And Lu Changxing thinks, "Pangu, as my contracted deity, even with the lowest resonance, my body is still as strong as stone." Then Matsumoto Genzu tries to stand up, and he says, "Kid, I was careless just now. Even though you're a new divine guardian, you have such a strong body. However, do you know the divine arts? Do you know any magic? You're still a tiny piece of trash. My shadows can completely copy my strength and skills." And Matsumoto Genzu has made his own shadow clones, and he attacks Lu Changxing, and he says, "It's 1 versus 2. I am an SS class divine guardian. Do you think you have any chance of winning?" But Lu Changxing catches the leg of both of them and collides them with each other. And he says, "An SS class divine guardian indeed. You hit hard." And seeing Lu Changxing's power, the girls become very happy, and they wish that they can become the mother of Lu Changxing's child. Then we see the Sakura Nation audience stand, where everyone is very angry and very disappointed because they are losing. And Emperor Tokugawa gets very angry and thinks, "I can't believe that the human god is so strong, and even the new divine guardian possesses such incredible strength." And we see that the divine spirit has cut off many of Yamata no Orochi's heads, and Ingjing is a little happy to see this, but Yamata no Orochi says, "Offerings. I want offerings." And many people's spirits start melting from the Sakura Nation audience stand, and all their power starts going inside Yamata no Orochi, due to which his body starts regenerating again. But Lu Changxing has defeated Matsumoto Genzu now, and he thinks, when the divine guardian dies, the divine beast will return to its celestial origins. I must kill the Yamata no Orochi first, to stop it once and for all. And Nog says, "Foolish human from Huaxia. Do you really think you're fighting me, a divine beast? No. You're fighting the millions of citizens of the Sakura Nation." And Ingjing says, "But you can sacrifice your citizens at will? These citizens are sacrificing their lives and becoming the source of energy for you to recover? I was fighting for my whole life and pursued the divine path during my elderly years. Everyone said I was foolish, but I finally mastered one trick. Although I cannot become divine, it can save the world. Everyone becomes a dragon. The immortal chi technique." And the power of all the divine spirits starts increasing, and seeing this, Lu Yanran says, "What's going on? My resonance with my contracted deity is rising." And others say, "I feel like there's incredible strength building in me. My eyes. I can see the light again." And Ingjing says, "My whole life is devoted to ensuring that people of the greater Qi nation can live peacefully and happily forever, and to wish that all the people in this world can act like a dragon and stay healthy." And a man cries and says, "Hooray for our Huaxia forefather. He secretly had such a noble plan." And Ingjing says, "I'm willing to do anything for my people." Then we see an old man, and he is the Hawk Nation. The Yamata no Orochi sacrifices its people as a source of energy, but the Huaxia's divinity is willing to sacrifice its life for the people. And the people of the other nations say, "Is this the power of the Eastern civilization? How incredible." And Ingjing says, "Where are the celestial soldiers of the great Qi nation?" And all the divine spirits are just waiting for a command from Ingjing, and Ingjing commands them to kill the survivors. And on hearing Ingjing's words, all the divine spirits move forward to attack Nog. And again they start cutting all the heads of Nog, and Nog starts feeling a lot of pain, and Nog shouts, "Sacrifices! I demand more sacrifices!" And he starts absorbing the power of the people of his Sakura Nation. And seeing this, Emperor Tokugawa thinks, we can't continue like this. The offerings to the Yamata no Orochi are all the elites of this country. And the people of the Sakura nation say, oh great, Yamata no Orochi, perhaps. This is the end. The Sakura nation cannot continue with this hefty price anymore. The Huaxia god hopes everyone can act like a dragon, but all you know is to ask for sacrifices. Yamata no Orochi, go die. And Ingjing again picks up the sword and says, your people abandoned you after all. Then Ingjing attacks the Yamata no Orochi and defeats him. Then the announcer says, Yamata no Orochi dead. And Lu Changxing says the Yamata no Orochi is dead, so there's no reason to keep you alive. And Lu Changxing puts his foot on Matsumoto Genzu's neck, breaks his neck and kills him. Then Lu Changxing starts leaving. And the announcer says, Matsumoto Minamoto. Dead? I formally announce. Lu Changxing of the Huaxian Nation versus Matsumoto Minamoto. Lu Changxing wins. Sakura Nation versus Huxian Nation score, 1-2, and a girl gets very surprised that Lu Changxing has killed Matsumoto Genzu and she says, has he really been killed? And the academy head says, a mere mortal man stood shoulder to, no, he beat the divine as a mortal man. And the announcer says, the hero of Huaxia's performance shocked me. Next up there will be a divine battle. We will return after a brief intermission. Divine Guardians, please get ready. Then we see Ingjing, who has used all his power, and is now very badly injured. And when they see their forefather so injured, they all become very sad and say, there are barely any believers of his in the Huaxian nation. This battle wounded him greatly. Then Lu Changxing starts going to Ingjing, but Ingjing says, Changxing, I might not be able to continue fighting with you. I have a dream. I hope that all life in this world fades to ashes. The forefather. Is it gone? The power of a god is dependent on the number of believers. No one believed in the forefather before this battle. He really gave this battle his all. And two people cry and say, we have disrespected you. And the system tells Lu Changxing, summoned god, forefather, frozen. You can summon again with more believers. And Lu Changxing thinks, the forefather isn't gone. We just need to believe harder. After summoning the forefather and increasing the resonance with my assigned god, Pangu, also increased. If I summon more deities in the future, I can eventually summon Pangu into this world. Then Lu Changxing tells them, the forefather isn't gone, he's just resting for now. When his name is again praised in Huaxia, he will return. And the academy head gets surprised on hearing Lu Changxing's words and he says, the forefather is still with us. Record what the forefather has done down in history, so it is known forever. We can't let the gods of Huaxia be buried in history. And Sword Immortal says, phew, I made it. God bless Huaxia. Lu Changxing killed Yamata no Orochi. And the secretary says, with my blood, start the divine arena. And then the secretary challenges Sword Immortal and the system notification says, Sakura Nation Mikohama challenges Huaxian Nation Lu Qing to a divine duel. Battle starts in 10 minutes. And Sword Immortal gets surprised and he says to the secretary, you re a spy for the Sakura Nation. And the secretary says, Nanana, I was by your side for 10 whole years, just for a chance like this. Without you, even with an extremely talented divine guardian, Huaxia will be doomed. Huaxia belongs to the Sakura Nation, and Sword Immortal gets ready to fight with the secretary, and he says, you asked for it. And then a student whispers something in the ear of the academy head which shocks the academy head, and then he says, the sword master Li Qing is attacked by a spy and can't make it to the arena on time. We need someone else for the next battle. And a student says, I can't believe that the Sakura Nation is so petty. And the other student says, it's life and death. But without the sword master, It'll be hard for us to win. 2 out of the 4 masters of Huaxia were killed by the Yamada no Orochi. These years, only Sword Master Lu Qin was able to maintain victory against the Sakura nation. The 4th battle is about to begin, and the academy head says, Changxing, the last battle must have drained you out. I will take on the next battle. But Lu Changxing refuses and says that I will go, and on hearing this the academy head says, Changxing, don't force yourself. And Zhou Hao says yes, let him go, Changxing. You won't know every deity that you summon. And Lu Yun'an says, Master is the best in Huaxia. He'll have a better chance to win. But Lu Changxing says, I once had a dream. There was an old god in my dreams. He was smiling and comforting me. After waking up, I learned the hidden legacy of Huaxia. And they get very surprised, and the academy head thinks, in the past there was the great Aryu who obtained the path of life. He Buddhist also obtains the path of life and immortality. Understanding the path is not uncommon. This explains why he knows all the deities of Huaxia. And the academy head says, Changxing, I know you want to prove yourself, but I am more experienced, and know all the deities of Huaxia. And the city lord says, you are young and talented. No need to sacrifice yourself so soon. And then a red-colored aura starts coming out of Lu Changxing's body, and the one doing this is Phoenix. And seeing this, the academy head also gets surprised, and he says, Oh God! The blazing phoenix! The master's deity from 1,000 years ago. The master's casual description gave that swallow's uniqueness. The swallow is known as a phoenix. That was never recorded before. Changxing knows so many hidden Huaxia mythologies. And the academy head tells Lu Changxing, Changxing, you aren't wrong, okay. Summoning a god sacrifices your own stamina. Take a rest and prepare for battle. Then Lu Changxing turns back and he starts looking at Lu Yanran. And then a golden aura starts coming out of Lu Changxing's body. And we see that Lu Yanran's divine spirit comes out. Then Lu Changxing he starts to leave, and as he is going ahead the students are saying, what is Lu Changxing doing? He is summoning an SS class god for Huaxia's battle. But that'll make him die a lot sooner. He's lighting up Huaxia with his own life. Then we see the scene of the legendary arena, and the announcer says, the 4th battle in the legendary arena between Huaxia Nation and Sakura Nation begins soon. Representing Huaxiagua is Lu Changxing, the genius who has already secured a victory. The Huaxia kingdom still belongs to the victorious genius youth Lu Changxing. Representing the Sakura nation, we have Momo Sakura. Then a girl comes to the arena and she says, Lu-san, pleasure to meet you. And this girl's name is Momo Sakura. Then people of Sakura nation say, the representative of Huaxia is yet again Lu Changxing. Does the Huaxia nation have no talents, so Lu Changxing needs to fight again? Haha, his summoned deity just fell in the last battle. This gives us a great chance. And Emperor Tokugawa thinks the shadow planted near the Sword Saint has taken action already. The Sakura nation's deity is the best at bewitching. This time, the Sakura nation must be defeated. Then we see Momo Sakura and she is smiling, and people get surprised seeing Momo Sakura smile and say, what's going on? They sent a fair maiden. I must admit, she's stunning. And the academy head thinks, the divine guardian Sakura nation sent out this time. There's absolutely no information about her. Then Momo Sakura touches the god stone, due to which an image of a 9-tailed fox appears behind her. And the battle countdown starts, which is going to start in just 50 seconds, and the audience says, what is Changxing doing? Why is he not summoning his deity? There's less than a minute left. What are you waiting for? Summon your deity. There's no time left. The 9-tailed fox appears behind Momo Sakura, and her name is Tamamo no Me. And some people get very shocked seeing Tamamo no Me and say, my God, what is this deity? Is she an angel from the heavens? Divinely beautiful. And a monk seeing Tamamo no Me says, the moment she appeared even my heart fluttered, just slightly. And the audience says, it's a deity never seen in this arena. We know nothing about her. Such a beautiful appearance. Let's hope Changxing stays focused. And Lu Changxing thinks, of course, she summons the Tamamonome, the leader of the 3 demon gods forces of the Sakura nation. Since we know her deity already, there is no need to wait anymore. Then Lu Changxing touches the god stone and a bright light starts coming out of it, and when Lu Changxing looks ahead, a demon god appears in front of him. Lu Changxing is surprised to see this. And the city lord says, Lu Changxing is trying to summon a demon deity? And Zhou Hao says, wait, Changxing, your assigned deities are human deities. And Lu Yanren says, the assigned deity controls the type of deity one can summon. The first awakened Pangu, who is a human. The consequence of summoning a different type of deity is death. Then Lu Changxing says, and Lu Changxing, welcome, Heavenly General Iron Hog. And the Sakura Nation audience says they've run out of tricks. Huaxia's genius is trying to summon a demon deity. Everyone who tried what he did died immediately on the stage. And Emperor Tokugawa says, a choice that kills you. Looks like he doesn't have the power to summon anyone else, and this is his only choice. Then we see that the form of the god changes and he starts looking like a human, and he is very handsome, seeing which the Sakura Nation audience gets very shocked. Then the city lord says, we did it. Changxing summoned a demon deity and was unharmed. And the academy head says, could it be that Pangu is not limited to human deities? Pangu as the creator is more profound than what we imagine. Huaxia has hope now. And Emperor Tokugawa says, although that deity is a demon, he is still a man. All men will succumb to the allures of Tamamonome. Then Tianping says, what are they saying outside? Then Lu Changxing says, this is a divine arena. The other nations are trying to take down Huaxia. I, Lu Changxing, beg for you to assist me in fighting deities of other nations. I hate fighting. I just want to sit and stare at the moon, spending time with her. Why should I care if others are invading Huaxia? And Tianping starts leaving, but Lu Changxing says to Tianping, General, please wait. You still want to meet Chang'e, right? You still want to meet Wukong and Master, right? And Tianping says, the fires for us are dim in this era. Yet you know of Chang'e, that monkey and that monk? So Lu Changxing says, not only do I know them, I also can summon them. And Tianping says, ha? With your strength? And Lu Changxing says, I know you don't want to become someone's pawn. But if I can summon the deity of Huaxia, it will light up the night sky and restore your dignity. Letting Chang'e, Wukong and Xuanzang all escape their confinements and obtain freedom. Now, will you fight for Huaxia? But Tianping gets angry and says in an angry voice, are you really messing with me? And Tianping has caught Lu Changxing by the neck, and Lu Changxing gets a little scared, but he shows Tianping the Pangu god and summons him out, and Tianping gets very surprised to see Master Pangu in front of him. Then he releases Lu Changxing and he says, you can summon Master Pangu? I've underestimated you. And Lu Changxing says, General Tianping, would you fight for me? And Tianping says, since Master Pangu is willing to help you, I can trust you. Who are we fighting? Tell me. Then both of them look in front of them towards their enemy, and Lu Changxing says, another race's nine-tailed deity. She tempts you with her charms and attracts males in this way. And Tianping says, that's easy then. I thought it'll be troublesome. And Sakura Nation audience says, look at Lu Changxing. He's still not ready. The Huaxia fighter is totally charmed by Momo Sakura. Look at their deity, it's a fat pig with big ears. But Tianping changes his appearance again, and he looks handsome, seeing which girls start blushing and they find Tianping very handsome. And a monk says, Huaxia's ancient monster deity, we cannot underestimate his power. And the old man from another nation says, who knows if this male deity can hold out under Tamamonome's charms. And Momo Sakura comes to the front, and she says, "Lu-san, I must say, you and your summoned deities are both quite handsome. However, have a great proposal. Lu-san, join Sakura Nation, and we'll treat you with the highest order. Unlike Huaxia Nation, we won't make someone who just awakened fight multiple times in a row. The great Sakura Nation will help you and yours deity to grow and develop." And after listening to Momo Sakura, the academy head gets very angry and says, "A psychological attack." And the city lord says, "Chanshin, don't fall for her tricks." And Momo Sakura says, "You can have all the money and power, but also me." And some people say, although the Sakura Nation sucks, she's so cute. Power, money, and someone so beautiful. I would have accepted already. How would Lu Changxing decide? And Lu Changxing refuses Momo Sakura. So Momo Sakura says, "If I'm not good enough, you can pick any woman in the Sakura Nation." And Momo Sakura tries to trap Lu Changxing in an illusion. But Lu Changxing breaks Momo Sakura's illusion by using Tianping's weapon. And he thinks, "Heavenly Soldier Projection. After Tianping decided to fight for me, I can also use his weapon, the Nine-Tooth Rake." And Momo Sakura says, "What a shame. You would have had a bright future." And Lu Changxing says, "When I was learning history, the professor told me something. If I escape, your bullying would only be even more brutal. If I escape, how can I face the millions of those behind me? Huaxia is a nation of virtue. We meet friends with delicacies, and we meet enemies with weapons." And after listening to Lu Changxing, the students say, "What a great saying indeed. We only have guns for them, Sakura Nation. Great words indeed. Huaxia Nation will destroy all against us. Changxing is the leading warrior of Huaxia. Let horses roam the southern mountains, drive out the invaders, and seal the wolf's den. This is a man's true desire." Then the scenes shift, myriad of deity temples. A small boy is sweeping the temple, but suddenly a strong wind starts blowing, and feeling it, the small boy says, "It's open. The nation is at least 2 times as lucky now." Then Lu Changxing moves forward to attack Momo Sakura, and he attacks Momo Sakura, and Momo Sakura also gets ready to fight with Lu Changxing. And the fight starts between them, and Momo Sakura thinks, "A newbie who can hit so hard, he must not be spared." And Momo Sakura says, "Since I can't recruit you, I'll have to kill you." Ninja art. Shadow clone technique. And Momo Sakura makes a lot of clones, and she thinks, "Even if I defeat Matsumoto Ginzome, so what? How could a brute understand the intricacies of spellcraft?" Her power far surpasses Matsumoto Ginzome's. Momo Sakura attacks Lu Changxing, seeing which Lu Changxing gets a little shocked, and with great difficulty he is able to save himself from Momo Sakura's attack. And seeing this, the people of Sakura Nation say, "Ha ha ha, this boy is in such a sorry state. As expected of the genius girl, she has fully mastered Miyamoto Musashi's Nitoryu. Hurry up and kill this boy and force Huaxia to cede territory and pay reparations." And Momo Sakura says, "Who would have thought you'd be so weak and easy to beat? Just all show on the outside, nothing but rot within. This time, let's see how you dodge." And Momo Sakura attacks Lu Changxing again, and Lu Changxing thinks, "Since there's no place left to dodge, then I'll dodge no more. Take this, my rake." And Lu Changxing does an attack which Momo Sakura is able to stop with great difficulty. And seeing this, the audience of Sakura Nation gets very surprised, and Lu Changxing defeats Momo Sakura very easily. And Momo Sakura says to Lu Changxing, "How did you see through my real body?" Then Tamamo Nome says to Tianping, "You filthy pig demon, if you kneel before me, I'll let you glimpse under my skirt." And the audience of other nations, seeing Tamamo Nome, says, "Goddess, my goddess. So beautiful, if I could just kiss her once, I'd give up 10 years of my life." And the academy head says, I wonder if this Wuxia demon god can resist Tamamo Mei's charm. And Tianping remembers someone and he says, compared to her, you're hideous. And Tamamo Mei gets angry after listening to Tianping and she says, you say I'm hideous? And Tianping moves forward to attack Tamamo Mei. And the Sakura Nation audience gets very angry and they say, how dare you call our goddess ugly? Go look in the mirror, pig demon. Not knowing beauty from ugliness, do you feel no shame facing such exquisite beauty? And Tianping attacks Tamamo Mei. But Tamamo Mei steps back. Then she says, this is the first time anyone has called me ugly. You'll pay the price for those words. Nishiro loop upon loop Ikan took a Salika Namizulo. This is the ninefold, Amaterasu. Sunlight over the heavens. I shine upon the land. This is my country, the land of the gods, the middle land of lush water and fertile soil. But Tianping stops Tamamo Mei's attack, seeing which Tamamo Mei gets surprised and she says, celestial demon's wrath. And Lu Changxing looks at Tamamo Mei and he says, sunlight of the heavens Amaterasu's Yashiro rock, also known as the Yada mirror. One of Japan's 3 divine treasures, Tamamo Mei's demonic power has nearly increased tenfold under the blessing of the divine artifact. And Tianping gets ready to attack again and he stands in front of Tamamo Mei again. And Tamamo Mei moves forward to attack Tianping and attacks him, but Tianping easily stops her attack with his weapon. Then Tianping attacks Tamamo Mei. And Lu Changxing thinks, Tamamo Mei is the top of the 3 great demon lords of Sakura, an SSS-level deity, Sakura's hidden trump card. And yet this big brother, only at SS level, can easily suppress her. It seems I can't rely on awakened levels to judge any deity's strength. And Tianping slightly injures Tamamo Mei, and she cleans the blood from her mouth, and she says, you pig, you've completely enraged me. And Tamamo Mei prepares to make a dangerous attack. And we see the sky start turning black and she makes a dangerous attack on Tianping, and it is a heaven-burning foxfire attack. And Tamamo Mei's attack is very dangerous and there is an explosion too, seeing which the academy head gets a little worried. But Tianping destroys Tamamo Mei's attack by creating a barrier. And we see that Tianping has called many divine spirits. And they attack Tamamo Mei, and she dodges it with great difficulty. And Momo Sakura also sees that a huge explosion has happened there. But still Tamamo Mei is fine, she has dodged the attack. But she is very shocked. Then we see that Tianping again prepares another attack which looks very dangerous. Seeing what Tamamo Mei says his, where did all this water come from? And Tianping says this is water from the heavenly river. And water starts flowing around Tianping. Then he starts walking in the air to attack Tamamo Mei, seeing which the people of Sakura Nation start praying. And Tianping gets ready to attack Tamamo Mei and he attacks. And Tamamo Mei forms a shield to stop Tianping's attack and she says, Mizuta Nikko Amaterasu Hachinaha stone. But Tianping's attack is very powerful which breaks Tamamo Mei's barrier, and Tamamo Mei falls down. And seeing this the students become very happy and say, Tianping Marshal is so damn cool. He completely overpowered the fox demon from Sakura Nation. Looks like he's got this win in the bag. This is so cool. He broke Tamamo Mei's strongest artifact in one hit. And the Sakura country audience is now silent. And Tianping again moves forward to attack Tamamo Mei and Tianping attacks Tamamo Mei. But Tianping is shocked because the person he attacked was a clone who now disappears. And Tamamo Mei stands far away and watches this and she thinks, physically powerful, skilled in martial arts, and proficient in spells, his magical prowess is above even me. It's like he doesn't have a weakness. When did a divine awakener capable of summoning a monster like him appear in Huaxia? And Tianping says, a transportation spell? Know how to do that too. And Tianping again comes close to Tamamo no Mei to attack her, and Tamamo no Mei gets a dangerous hit due to which she falls away and blood starts coming out of her mouth. And now she gets ready to use her full power, and we see that she has also summoned some spirits, seeing which the people of Sakura Nation say, "I can't believe it! It's Amaterasu! Shukendoji, Otakamaru and Amaterasu! It's the end of Huaxia." Then all those spirits get ready to attack Tianping and they start using their powers, and seeing this Tianping also gets ready to do his dangerous attack, and he dodges all their attacks very fast, and he says, "Summoning help now that you can't beat me one-on-one." Still, they are only in spiritual form. Even if they were here in their true form, I would not be afraid. And Tamamo no Mei says, "Then why are you running away like a coward?" And Tianping says, "Who said I was running away? Ruler from heaven to earth, water of the heavenly river. All water from heaven to the depth of the ocean is under my control." And Tianping attacks Tamamo no Mei's spirit and destroys her very easily, and seeing this, a spirit says, "You have seriously irritated me, you monster pig." And that spirit attacks Tianping again, which Tianping is barely able to stop. And then there's an explosion, seeing which the audience of Sakura Nation gets happy and says, "This is a miracle from the gods. The ultimate move from Amaterasu Amikami, divine punishment. Its power is terrifying even if she's only here in spiritual form." And we see that Tianping is unable to stop the attack of that spirit, and he rolls away and falls, seeing which the students get very nervous and say, Tianping Marshal has collapsed. Is this the power of an SSS class god? Even a sliver of its power can completely overwhelm you. And the spirit gets very happy seeing Tianping falling on the ground and says, "You're just a pig monster after all, useless even as livestock." But Tianping tries to stand up again and he says, "Heart of Shang Bao Qin." And Tianping stands up again, and the spirit is surprised to see this. And Tianping moves his hand forward and catches the spirit's neck. And the spirit is now very nervous and thinks, "What? My godly power seems to have been drained in an instant, and I can no longer use anything." And Tianping has now transformed into another form, and he says, "You are right, I am a pig, but..." And Tianping falls on the spirit's neck and throws him on the ground with force. And seeing this, the students become very happy and they say, "Bravo, Tianping Marshal. You made the enemy lower their guard before launching your counterattack with lightning speed. Truly a great marshal with both courage and cunning." No wonder Changxing Bros summoned Tianping Marshal. They are alike in their viciousness. Watching Sakura gods being beaten up like this is so cathartic. And your spirit starts disappearing, but while leaving she says, "I will not forget this." And now Tamamo no Mei gets very scared seeing Tianping's power. And now Tianping slowly starts moving towards Tamamo no Mei, and Tianping has made a dangerous attack on Tamamo no Mei, due to which Tamamo no Mei is now finished. Then Tianping again transforms into his other form. And running Lu Changxing comes to Tianping, but Tianping says to Lu Changxing, "Don't come near me." And Tianping is now very much injured, seeing which the audience gets very worried for Tianping, and they say, "How could Marshal Tianping fall? What on earth happened to him?" And Tianping says, "I don't want you to see the way I look. In your eyes, I have always been a towering hero in your eyes. But I am cowardly. If I hadn't been so insecure back then, and had been a little braver, would the outcome have been different?" And Tianping is saying all this for his loved one. He says, "Promise me. If I die, I want you to find my senior brother and master and bring them to my grave. Old pig is not a coward." And Lu Changxing says, "No, I want you to say it yourself. People of Huaxia, I offer my reverence to the great deity. And as soon as the academy head hears this, he tells everyone, food. Bring out the food offerings, quickly. Hurry up. Then we see the mother and daughter who are watching this whole fight on TV. And the little girl's mother comes with food on a plate and she says, faster. It's time for food offerings for Tianping Marshal. And we see that many people offer food to Tianping, which is a lot. And all that food starts emitting golden-colored energy, due to which Tianping's power starts increasing. The Pantheon, SS-class god Tianping Marshal.
Hi everyone, you are watching AX Manhwa Recap. If you want to know the name of this manhwa, you can see here, and also if you want to see more this kind of manhwa, you can type here.